It's another low for Nigerian judicial officers after the one that happened in Osun State, where a judge and his registrar connived with a man to steal from another man. This time around, it is the turn of Kano State judicial officers in their show of shame and outright theft from individuals who are accused before them. Concerned Nigerians documented these crimes that involved 3 magistrates plus 1 senior registrar. They went ahead and filed petitions and submitted to the Kano State Judicial Commission, which investigated all the facts. They sent out questionnaires and invited the magistrates involved, and many of them admitted to the crimes. After the investigations, the Kano State Judicial Service Commission, while handing down the disciplinary action against Chief Magistrate Talatu Makama, Senior Magistrate Rabbi Abud Kadiri, Chief Magistrate Tijani Saleh Minijibi, and Senior Registrar Abdul Nasir. Their spokesman released a statement saying, quote, "The Judicial Service Commission at its 72nd meeting held on June 11, 2024, considered petitions against the 3 magistrates and 1 registrar in the state. These disciplinary actions underscore the Judicial Service Commission's commitment to maintaining higher standards of judicial conduct and ensuring the integrity of the legal system." Unquote. Chief Magistrate Talatu Makama, she took the corruption to a whole new level. In fact, it was outright stealing. She ordered GT Bank to transfer money from the account of a suspect before her to her own account, despite the fact that the suspect's account was frozen. It's not clear if she was the one that ordered the account to be frozen or not, but she still made the order that money should be transferred from the suspect's account by the bank into her own personal account. What audacity, a magistrate making such an order. By the way, she accepted this. She owned up to making the order. She didn't deny it. The second petition, she was also found guilty. She issued an order in a case that was yet to be assigned to her court. Can you imagine? She was aware of a case, but it has not yet been assigned to a particular court, but she still went ahead and made the order to the police. So you can understand how corrupt these people do not deserve to be on the bench. The Kano State Judicial Service Commission also found her guilty on the 3rd petition. They noticed that she showed a heavy amount of bias in one of the cases she handled. This should not end here. These people should be put on trial. Let them face what others face. These are judges and magistrates that criminals are brought to their courts. They sentence them every day and they have the audacity to behave like criminals. So they are criminals on the bench. All the disciplinary actions handed down by the Kano State Judicial Service Commission are not commensurate to the crimes committed by these magistrates. They recommended that Chief Magistrate Talatu Makama be recalled from the bench and stripped of all judicial duties effective immediately. This should not stop here. They should charge her to court because this is gross violation. This is outright theft. If she had succeeded in receiving that money, maybe the bank sent it and it was returned after the petition was written. It is not very clear how it actually happened, but since she accepted in her response that she actually made the order to GT Bank to transfer that money to her account, this is theft. They should try her and subject her to trial the same way criminals are subjected to trials in her court. They need to set an example so that other magistrates, judges, and other judicial officers will learn. They think they can do anything and get away with it. Some of them feel that the National Judicial Council or the State Judicial Council will cover for them, that all they need to do is share the money among all judicial officers and everyone will look away. This is why we need to take law enforcement seriously in Nigeria. If anyone knows that he will get away with any crime, that he can bribe his way out of any crime, no matter how grave, he will continue to commit the crime in future. In fact, it is a motivation. Just steal the money and share with others. That's what they do. But if we say no, we draw a line that anyone that commits any crime must do the time, People will start behaving themselves. It's not by force to be a judge or a magistrate in any court. If you feel you're not earning enough, that your salary is not enough for you, do not ridicule the judiciary. Do not bring the judiciary to disrepute, although their reputation is already in the mud. But we can still do better. We can start today and say, no, all this corruption must stop.
Hey, no, I didn't. I don't punch niggas. Don't punch me.
You're gonna get
No. Take me where you want to take me.
I can't take
no,
you. I don't
take
have any
me.
identification on
And
you.
I don't care. You don't need identification. You have locked people up and you have picked up dead bodies when you don't know who bodies it was, but you picked them up. Take me where you need to take me.
This is a high-ranking judge in Georgia, United States, being arrested by the police. Can that ever happen in Nigeria? No. Most judges and magistrates have police orderlies following them around wherever they are. So with a police orderly, you need a high-ranking police officer to arrest that person. In fact, before they can move on an officer like a judge or magistrate, they must have the order from the above, maybe even above the state level. They must come from Abuja to be able to arrest someone like a magistrate or a judge. So they enjoy a lot of privileges in the society. That's why they hide under that and commit all sorts of crimes that no one can arrest them, no one can put them to trial. Pata, I will just bribe someone and the matter will be over. But her shameless conduct was too much that no one could take any bribe from her to free her. So they should not stop here. They must make sure they charge her to court so as to set an example for other judicial officers. The other female senior magistrate, Abdul Kadiri, was also given a suspension of 1 year. She was relieved of all her duties in the magistrate court. This is like a 1-year suspension, which is still not enough. She was found guilty for judicial recklessness, like they put it. It's not very clear what she actually committed, but it must have been very grave for them to suspend her for 1 year. The job of judicial officers is one that must be handled with zero corruption. It is the last beacon of hope of the common man. It is where anyone can run to seek for justice. And once the officers involved are compromised, then there's no hope. That's why the people that are supposed to hold them to account, that's the National Judicial Council and the state branches, they must be up and doing, like in this case of Kano State Judicial Council, so that they can improve the integrity of the judicial system in Nigeria. On the case of the other magistrate, Saleh Munijibi, the Kano State Judicial Service Commission said that they found his response unsatisfactory and they handed down a 1-year suspension to him. They also said that the actions of the magistrate amount to serious misconduct and judicial recklessness. Like in the case of the other magistrate, it's not clear exactly what he committed. Now to the senior registrar, Abdul Nasir. He received payments meant for the court into his personal account. This is like when someone wants to pay for a government service and he's supposed to pay through remitter, but the officer involved tells the person to pay directly to his personal account. This is not allowed in the entire civil service. It is a serious crime and gross misconduct, but look at the disciplinary action handed to him. They only deferred his promotion for 1 year. Quite pathetic. This is not commensurate to the crime he committed. He actually took taxes that was supposed to go to the government, so he has become government unto himself, collecting taxes from the people. If it was someone that stole a chicken, they will sentence the person to 3 years with hard labor. Where is the justice, equity and fairness? Thanks for watching.